Thanks for joining me for this snowy Christmas card tutorial. You can paint along with me by downloading my sketch through the link in the description below. I start at the top with a wash of clear water, right down to the distant hill area, which eventually will be a light bluish colour indicating snow in that area, and come down over it like so, because when we lay this next wash, it won't matter that there's a little bit of fusing between the two, the sky and the distant landscape. I've chosen alizarin crimson for the red colour. This is going to be quite a dramatic sky and water. So lay that down. I'm using a number 10 brush, and then I've gone into Windsor blue for that middle area of the sky, fusing the two together at the edges. This is Arches paper, 140-pound rough. I normally use 300-pound rough, but for this small size demonstration, it's certainly adequate. But it is best to tape it down as I've done. So continuing to mix those together here and there so they're fused. And remember that when these paints are laid down, they dry a lot lighter. And always remember to mop up the edges at the side of the painting and the water that goes onto the tape if you have tape on. Now that distant hill area, which is a snow-covered area, but we're showing it in a light grey colour. So a mixture of your Windsor blue and your light red, very light, and so it gives the feeling of distance because it's not intense. And we've got a little bit of the nice red colour on it too, you know, where there's some reflection effectively upon the landscape. And then once that's done, the foreground area of snow near where the little hut is receiving some shadow, and a tiny watered down version of the red as well, to show that the landscape is catching the light area. And for the water, we're doing a mirror image effectively. So we've got we're starting this time with the blue in the middle, and then coming in from each side with our red, alizarin crimson red. And once again, fusing that together. Now you can see that this is already taking shape quite nicely. I'm convinced that this series of transparent watercolors that I'm uploading for you at the moment, especially these ones with a Christmas card feeling, will be easy for you to tackle and help you make great progress in your study of transparent watercolor. So as you can see, it's dried much lighter, and I did use the hairdryer to speed up the process, as I've used many times and mentioned. And then we're laying in some of that reddish color um, along the grass areas and where the trees will be, etc. Gives a nice variation. The hut, building, lodge, whatever you want to call it, has had a light wash on the roof, indicating that it's snow covered, and then very dark brickwork. Um, that brickwork would be a combination of your Windsor blue and the alizarin crimson. And as you can see, I've left windows and dropped in yellow wash, Windsor yellow, in those to show lights are on, and some of the lights are reflecting on the snow. For the trees, your Windsor blue and your Windsor yellow mix, and using the side scraping brush technique here and there, laying in those trees, as you can see, and as I've done on many of my other tutorials. So just continue with those, shaping them up as best you can. And it is a quick, sketchy painting. It's not meant to be meticulous. It's impressionistic, of course, and nevertheless, I think that you can learn a great deal in respect of techniques. And it's a small piece of paper, so it's not as if you need to be worried, oh, if it goes wrong, I've wasted a big piece of paper and lots of paints. No, you won't. Anyway, I think you do great, so don't worry. Carry on with that. You can strengthen up those trees with a darker version. As is often the case, I'll start with the ground lighter version first of all, and then when that's dry, semi-dry, depends, I then start laying in the darker version to strengthen them up and add more shape to the subject matter such as the trees. So just a couple more trees to go in there, and then when they are finished, we're going to drop in some reflections in the water from the trees and the little hut, or a little bit bigger than a hut, I appreciate, but maybe a lodge. So the side of the bank where the snow meets the water, just indicate that with your shadowy type colour. And then just very quickly, easily, no meticulous detail, indicate a reflection of that little lodge. And then the same for the trees. We do those first, and then once we've finished doing those, we're going to use a flat brush to come in across the water with strokes from the flat brush to indicate ripples, etc., on the water and make that look more convincing and three-dimensional. Please remember to like and subscribe, because then we'll notify you each time a new video is uploaded. To achieve the smoke from the chimney, you can get a bristle type brush, one that's normally used for oil painting, and you can lay on some water and then get your strong tissue and dab, and there you have it, smoke from the chimney. Now that flat brush showing the ripples on the water coming across, just doing a few, enough to tell the story again, and a bit thinner the further away they are. Just carry on with that and then sign it and do your reveal. And I think this is an easy one for you to achieve, and I hope you tackle it. Hope that's been helpful. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.